Hey guys, welcome back to Cromto Gaming. So, first update is Party Week has taken a serious toll on the production of the game. Who would have guessed? So that's obviously great. But so this week we actually were working on a little bit, just not much. It's going to be short and sweet, just like my anyway. So we're looking at this week. We started working on player health and UI. We connected them together. We started making it work. However, the issue was actually, I'll put it up on screen now, so this kind of demonstrates how it is. You kind of walk into a bullet, you walk into a sword, you walk into a cannonball or a grenade or whatever. So these pillars are essentially the like placeholders for them. So if you get hit by a bullet, that's the damage you're taking. So you can see it right there. If you get hit by sword, likewise, and by cannonball, you dead. No one's surviving that shit. Anyway, so what else? Yeah, okay. So the main problem we ran into while doing this, right? So the UI is actually meant to kind of look like this. Yeah. So the problem with that is that it looks different for every player. Well, not looks different. It's the same for every player, but it is different for every player because every player is going to have their health on the bottom left next to their ship next to their teammate, and their enemies, all of the same stats, are on the top right. Okay, so I have to adjust this on every local authority, every local computer and local player to suit what we want, and this is really not really difficult, but I'm struggling visualizing it. I can do something kind of like one of the old WWE games. I can't remember which one it is, but essentially it had all the players like sort of health and stats in each corner. So it had 4 player stats because I think it was 4 player max back then. But so you could have you'd see all 4 players' health at the same time in the same places. So they weren't changing depending on if you were the local player or not. It was just how it was. I can do that. That's no problem at all. But having a change and shift is actually a bit of a problem, and that's been kind of annoying me a lot. Also, yeah, so what I was thinking is what I could do, or what I'm going to have to do anyway with multiplayers, I'm going to have to set up a enumerator type, right, which is like a friendly player or blue team or red team or whatever, right? I'm going to have to create these kinds of types just so I can sort of single out the players, so the players know exactly what team they're on, which ship is theirs, who's their teammate, and what team, like, you know, like all of that, who's their enemy. This is going to keep track of all those things. It's not going to keep track of them. It's going to how would you just say that? It doesn't keep track. It just labels it. Really, you have to keep track another way, but it labels it so you can find it easier, call it easier, like, you know, anything like that. Also, yeah, we got a few more textures in, so that's going to be pretty cool. We can throw some textures on our anchors on the ship. Hopefully, the ship's going to be done tomorrow, I think. Then we also have the sword textured. We have the gun is textured, and what else? Yes, the ship's helm, so the ship wheels textured as well. That's we're kind of waiting on the rest of the stuff as well. Still, that's pretty much it for this week. Like, it's genuinely such a small update, but still, like, yeah, that's what, like, you know, I'm sure this time of year is just not great for anyone trying to get work done unless you're really committed. And believe me, I'm committed, but I'm also committed to the you guys can't see that, but it's a lot of alcohol. It's a lot of alcohol. So yeah, it's fun. You know, I'm still committed to having fun. Right? We can't always work all the time, you know, but I'm having fun too much. That's what's happening. That's a problem for this week. And next solution is don't party so much. But yeah, okay, guys, thank you for that really quick, really short, really small update. That's really it for this week. That's all I've done. I've done some tweaks, changed the build, tested multiplayer. Nothing crazy. Actually, do you know what? I didn't do one last week, so I can just do the stuff. I can read the stuff I did last week. That'll make the video more interesting. Yep. So I started working. So there was an issue last week with the player health, so we couldn't the scripts weren't able to tell if the player was dead or not. I couldn't do this in the update folder or in the update function method. So what I did instead was every time the player gets hit by something, then there's a check to see if the player is actually dead or not. So it checks if the player's health is at 0 or below, and then it will decide whether or not the player's alive or dead. If it is 0 or below, then player's gone. Like, you know, it calls in the delegate function that says player dead, handle player dead, and then all that plays out. And I fixed that as well. So yeah. So that's how I did. That's how I fixed that. Also, multiplayer. Not too much else on the multiplayer. Still kind of buggy. I decided to start using the transform thing just because it is a lot more effective. I tried checking to see if it could just track the player controller script, right? So maybe every time the script impacted the player's rigid body or the player's position in the world or whatever, it would track that. That doesn't work. So, you know, we left that. And then project management, yeah, I was just distributing tasks and working with all that. So making some more documentation, doing a bit more writing. Nothing exciting, nothing that anyone else who plays the game is going to see. So I'm sure that's of no interest to anybody else. And then yeah, so we're up at our final week of the deadline, and our non-existent maintainable code is unmaintainable. But I know, like, it's just taken a lot more work to get through. I did learn a lot of lessons so far, especially when it comes to coding, because my god, like, I thought I had it sorted. I was wrong. I mean, the start was fine, but you can just see certain parts where I got kind of lazy and just decided to, like, bust out some prototype code, essentially, and we just kept it, right? And I shouldn't have done that. We shouldn't have just kept it, and we should have converted it into maintainable code, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not going to do that next time. Anyway, hopefully you guys tune in next time. Thank you very much for checking in, and as always, I will